Every human being carries something powerful inside, something raw and instinctive. It's not visible. It doesn't make noise all the time. But it wakes up the moment pressure enters your life. This inner animal is revealed when comfort disappears and reality hits hard. When life tests you through failure, rejection, loss, or fear, your reaction in that moment tells the truth about who you really are. Some people collapse under pressure, some freeze, and some rise with a fire they didn't even know they had. That difference is not luck, not talent, not background. It is the inner animal. Pressure is the mirror that never lies. In easy times, everyone looks confident. Everyone talks big. Everyone feels strong. But when things go wrong, masks fall off. That's when the inner animal steps forward. A lion does not panic when it hears noise in the jungle. It stands its ground. A wolf does not attack blindly. It observes, plans, and waits for the right moment. An eagle does not fight on the ground. It rises above the storm to see the bigger picture. In the same way, when pressure enters your life, your response shows whether you are reacting emotionally, intelligently, fearfully, or fearlessly. Many people think pressure is their enemy. They complain when life becomes hard. They ask, "Why me?" They blame circumstances, people, fate. But pressure is not there to destroy you, it is there to reveal you. It activates your inner animal. If there was no pressure, you would never know how strong you truly are. Comfort keeps the beast asleep. Challenge wakes it up. Your inner animal defines how you rise because it controls your first instinct. When failure hits, do you quit like prey, or do you stand back up like a predator? When fear appears, do you run, or do you face it head on? This is not about being aggressive. It's about being resilient. A strong inner animal doesn't mean violence. It means courage, control, and confidence under fire. Look at successful people closely. They are not successful because life was easy for them. They are successful because when life became hard, something inside them refused to give up. That refusal is the inner animal. It says, "I will not stop here." It says, "This pain will not break me." It says, "I will rise, even if I have to crawl first." Pressure separates the talkers from the doers. Everyone says they are strong, but only pressure proves it. In that moment, excuses die and instincts speak. Some people let pressure shrink them. They become smaller, quieter, weaker. Others let pressure sharpen them. They become focused, disciplined, dangerous in a positive way. The same pressure, different inner animals. Your inner animal also decides whether you see problems or opportunities. To a weak mindset, pressure looks like punishment. To a strong mindset, pressure looks like training. Animals in the wild don't complain about survival. They adapt. They learn, evolve, and move forward. When you adopt that instinct, pressure no longer scares you, it prepares you. Rising doesn't always mean instant victory. Sometimes rising means surviving when everything tells you to quit. Sometimes rising means staying consistent when motivation is gone. Sometimes rising means failing again and again but refusing to surrender your vision. Your inner animal gives you that stamina. It keeps you moving when logic says stop and emotions say give up. The world respects those who rise under pressure. Why? Because that kind of strength cannot be faked. Anyone can shine in comfort, but only a few can stand tall in chaos. When you rise in difficult times, you earn confidence, not the loud kind, but the quiet, unshakable kind. You start trusting yourself because you've seen what you can survive. This is why knowing your inner animal matters. If you don't know it, pressure will control you. If you do know it, you will control pressure. Awareness turns reaction into response. Instead of panicking, you choose your move. Instead of breaking, you bend and bounce back stronger. Every challenge you face is asking you one question. What kind of animal are you? Are you the one who hides, or the one who hunts your goals despite fear? Are you the one who waits for rescue, or the one who becomes their own rescue? Your answer is not spoken, it is lived. In the end, rising is not about being fearless. It's about moving forward, despite fear. And that courage comes from your inner animal. Wake it up. Train it. Trust it. Because when life puts weight on your shoulders, that inner animal will decide whether you fall or rise. Every human is born with instinct. It is natural, fast, and emotional. Instinct tells you to react, to protect yourself, to chase what you want, and escape what scares you. But instinct alone is not power. In fact, uncontrolled instinct can destroy more lives than weakness ever could. True power begins when instinct is disciplined, guided, and controlled. That is the difference between chaos and strength, between reaction and mastery. In the animal world, raw strength without control never lasts. A wild animal that attacks blindly wastes energy and gets injured. But an animal that knows when to move, when to wait, and when to strike survives and dominates. The same rule applies to humans. You may have anger, hunger, ambition, desire, and fear inside you, but if you let them control you, they will ruin your focus, your relationships, and your future. When you control them, they become fuel. Many people confuse aggression with power. They think being loud, impulsive, or emotional makes them strong. In reality, that is weakness in disguise. Power is calm. Power is controlled. Power is the ability to feel everything: anger, pain, excitement, and still choose the right action. That choice is what separates leaders from followers. Instinct reacts in seconds. Control thinks in moments. Those moments change everything. When someone insults you, your instinct says, fight back. When you face failure, your instinct says, quit. When fear appears, your instinct says, run. But when you control instinct, you pause. You analyze. You decide whether reacting will help you or hurt you. That pause is power. Think about anger. Anger is not bad. It is energy. But uncontrolled anger burns bridges, destroys trust, and creates regret. Controlled anger builds discipline, boundaries, and self-respect. The same fire that can burn a house can also power a city if controlled. Your instincts are that fire. Control does not mean killing instinct. It means training it. Just like a wild horse is powerful but dangerous, and a trained horse is powerful and useful, your instincts need direction. Discipline is the training ground. Daily habits, self-awareness, and patience slowly turn raw emotion into sharpened strength. Life constantly tests your control. Pressure tries to pull your instinct out of you. Stress makes you impulsive. Fear makes you short-sighted. Success can even make you careless. In those moments, power is not shown by how hard you push, but by how well you hold yourself. The person who can stay calm in chaos already has an advantage over everyone else. Controlled instinct also creates consistency. Anyone can be motivated for a day. Anyone can work hard when they feel inspired. But real growth requires showing up even when you don't feel like it. Instinct says, rest, escape, delay. Control says, stay, work, endure. Over time, this control compounds into results that look like talent to outsiders. This is why the strongest people are often the quietest. They don't need to prove themselves. They don't waste energy reacting to everything. They choose their battles. They understand that power is limited, so they spend it wisely. That wisdom comes from control. Fear is another instinct that becomes powerful when controlled. Fear is meant to protect you, not paralyze you. When you understand fear instead of fighting it, it becomes a guide. It shows you where growth is needed. Controlled fear sharpens focus. Uncontrolled fear creates excuses. Control also builds trust in yourself. When you know you won't lose control under pressure, you gain confidence. You stop fearing situations because you trust your response. This self-trust is rare, and it is magnetic. People follow those who can hold steady when others panic. Mastery of instinct is not a one-time achievement. It is a daily practice. Some days you will fail. Some days emotion will win. But every time you regain control, you get stronger. Over time, your default reaction changes. What once triggered you no longer does. What once scared you no longer stops you. That is evolution. In a world full of noise, distraction, and instant reactions, control is a superpower. Social media, pressure, and competition constantly poke your instincts. If you react to everything, you lose focus. If you control yourself, you gain direction. Direction turns effort into progress. Instinct gives you speed. Control gives you accuracy. Speed without accuracy wastes energy. Accuracy with speed creates impact. When these two combine, instinct becomes power. At the highest level, control turns instinct into identity. You are no longer someone who reacts, you are someone who responds. You are no longer driven by emotion, you are driven by purpose. This is where the inner animal is no longer wild. It is trained, loyal, and unstoppable. In the end, power is not about how strongly you feel, but how wisely you act. Your instincts are not your enemy. They are your raw material. Shape them, discipline them. Every human being walks through life with a certain pattern. Some repeat the same mistakes again and again. Some stay stuck in the same situations for years. Others break cycles, change direction, and create a completely different future for themselves. What makes the difference is not luck or background, it is self-awareness. The moment you truly understand your inner animal, your destiny begins to shift. Most people live unconsciously. They react without knowing why. They fear without understanding the source of that fear. They desire success but sabotage themselves with habits they don't even question. This lack of awareness keeps them trapped. But when you recognize your inner animal, your natural strengths, weaknesses, instincts, and tendencies, you stop fighting yourself and start working with yourself. Every animal symbolizes a mindset. A lion represents courage and leadership, but also pride. A wolf represents strategy and loyalty, but also isolation. An eagle represents vision and clarity, but also distance. A tiger represents focus and intensity, but also impatience. When you don't know which animal lives inside you, these traits control you blindly. When you do know, you gain choice. Knowing your inner animal gives you clarity. You begin to understand why certain environments drain you and others energize you. You realize why you thrive under pressure or why you prefer planning over action. This clarity helps you make better decisions, not emotional decisions, but aligned ones. And aligned decisions create a new path. Destiny is not one big event. It is the result of thousands of small choices. Those choices are shaped by your inner nature. If you are unaware of it, your choices will be random. If you are aware of it, your choices become intentional. Intentional choices compound into a powerful future. When you know your inner animal, you stop comparing yourself to others. You no longer try to win someone else's race. A wolf doesn't try to fly like an eagle, and an eagle doesn't try to hunt like a lion. Each animal dominates in its own way. The moment you accept your natural strengths, your confidence becomes real, not borrowed, not fake. This awareness also helps you manage your weaknesses. Knowing your inner animal doesn't mean glorifying it. It means understanding its shadow. A lion must learn humility. A wolf must learn connection. An eagle must learn presence. A tiger must learn patience. When you face these shadows consciously, they stop sabotaging your future. People who don't know themselves repeat patterns. They choose the wrong relationships, the wrong careers, the wrong habits. They feel lost and blame the world. But those who know their inner animal start choosing differently. They place themselves in environments where they can win. This alone can change destiny. Knowing your inner animal also shapes your purpose. You stop chasing random goals and start chasing meaningful ones. Your work becomes aligned with your nature. When effort and nature move in the same direction, progress feels natural, not forced. This alignment creates momentum, and momentum changes lives. Destiny responds to identity. When your identity is unclear, your future is unstable. When your identity is clear, your future becomes focused. You begin to act like the person you are becoming, not the person you used to be. This shift is subtle but powerful. Self-awareness also strengthens resilience. When you fall, you don't break, you analyze, you learn, you adapt. Animals in the wild don't quit when they fail. They adjust their strategy. When you understand your inner animal, failure becomes feedback, not a final verdict. The world does not reward potential. It rewards expression. Knowing your inner animal allows you to express your potential in the right way. You stop hiding your strengths and stop being ashamed of your instincts. You channel them. You refine them. You lead with them. Over time, this awareness rewrites your story. Your habits change. Your reactions change. Your standards rise. People around you notice the shift. Opportunities align. Not because the world changed, but because you did. In the end, destiny is not something waiting for you in the future. It is something you build every day through awareness and action. The day you truly recognize your inner animal is the day you stop living accidentally and start living intentionally. Know yourself, master yourself, and watch how your destiny transforms.